The year 2025 has not been easy for Rick Harrison, the face of the hit show Pawn Stars and the owner of the famous gold and silver pawn shop in Las Vegas. For years, Rick has been seen by the public as calm, unshakable, and dependable. The man who could handle any deal that came his way. But behind the scenes, life has been much harder for him than anyone realized. Over the past year, Rick has faced tragedy in his family, struggles within his business, rumors that shook his reputation, and even the pause of the very show that made him a household name. To his fans, it was shocking, because Rick always seemed like the rock holding everything together. Yet even strong men sometimes face storms that are too heavy to carry alone. In 2025, Rick stepped into the spotlight for reasons he never expected. And for many fans who grew up watching Pawn Stars, the reality of his struggles was heartbreaking. The most painful chapter in Rick's life came in January 2024, when he received a phone call that would change him forever. His second son, Adam Harrison, had passed away at just 39 years old. The news stunned fans of Pawn Stars who knew very little about Adam, since he was rarely seen on the show. While Rick's older son, Corey, grew up in front of the cameras and worked alongside him in the shop, Adam lived a quieter life, away from the spotlight. The details of his passing were devastating. An autopsy later revealed that Adam died from an accidental overdose of fentanyl and methamphetamine in a Las Vegas guest house. It was a grim reminder of how dangerous the ongoing addiction crisis has been, even for families who seem successful and secure. Rick admitted publicly that Adam had struggled with substance abuse for years and that he had tried to help him get into rehab. Despite those efforts, Adam's battle ran deep, and eventually he lost the fight. For Rick, who loved his son deeply, the loss was a wound that would never fully heal. Rick was open about how Adam's passing shook him to his core. In public statements, he even blamed border policies for allowing dangerous drugs like fentanyl to flood into communities. Beyond politics, however, the pain was personal. Fans saw a new side of Rick, not just the businessman and TV star, but a grieving father who could not protect his child from the demons of addiction. The loss of Adam also revealed something many fans never knew, that Rick himself had faced personal battles, though not with drugs. In many ways, Rick's addiction was to his work and to the success of Pawn Stars. While Adam could not handle the fast pace and pressure of the shop, Rick threw himself into it fully. Since its debut in 2009, Pawn Stars became one of the biggest reality shows on television, earning record-breaking ratings for the History Channel. Rick enjoyed the fame and success, but behind it all, his family life was complicated, and his son's struggles became a tragedy he could not escape. For more than 15 years, Pawn Stars was a television powerhouse. It followed Rick and his team at the gold and silver pawn shop as they haggled, joked, and sometimes clashed over rare and unusual items brought into the store. Fans loved the mix of history, humor, and negotiation. At its peak, the show was second only to Jersey Shore in ratings, and helped launch spin-offs like American Restoration and Counting Cars. Rick even wrote a best-selling book about his life and the business. But in February 2025, fans were shocked to learn that the History Channel had not renewed the show's contract. After 22 seasons, the series that had made Rick famous was suddenly put on pause. Rick did not call it a cancellation. He insisted it was an indefinite pause, but for the cast and fans, it felt like the end of an era. To make matters worse, Rick's son Corey decided to step away from the show completely, choosing a new life away from Las Vegas. Corey Harrison, often known as Big Hoss on the show, was a central figure in Pawn Stars. Viewers watched him grow from a young man learning the ropes into a skilled negotiator who could hold his own against his father. But in 2025, Corey shocked fans by announcing that he was done with the show. Instead of chasing deals in the pawn shop, he packed up and moved to Tulum, Mexico, a popular vacation destination known for its beaches and Mayan ruins. Corey explained that while his father was the kind of man who would work until the day he collapsed, he wanted something different. For him, it was time to slow down, relax, and enjoy life. In Tulum, Corey even began planning a new business, a barbecue restaurant he called Big Hoss's Smoking Joint. Some fans wondered if he had the experience to run a restaurant, but Corey seemed confident that his celebrity status would help him succeed. His departure, however, left a noticeable hole in Pawn Stars and raised questions about whether the show could continue without him. Corey's departure also brought up another surprising claim. He suggested that Pawn Stars was not as real as fans believed. According to him, after years of filming, the cast began to play characters rather than showing their true personalities. Corey even admitted that he felt stuck, pretending to be the same version of himself he had been when the show began, despite now being in his 40s. This revelation made viewers wonder how much of Rick's calm and steady on-screen personality was genuine and how much was scripted. Was Rick really the patient and dependable shop owner fans had grown to admire, or was he also playing a role? For many fans, this was a shocking reminder that reality TV often blurs the line between truth and entertainment. While Rick was celebrated for his knowledge and business skills, there were times when his temper got the best of him. Over the years, stories surfaced of confrontations with customers at the pawn shop. One of the most infamous incidents happened in 2011, when a Vietnam veteran named Daniel Callahan accused Rick and his father of physically assaulting him during an argument over a rifle. Though Rick denied the allegations, the story damaged his image of being calm under pressure. More recently, in 2025, Rick himself was arrested after a heated argument with a customer turned physical. Fans were shocked when news broke that he was charged with attempted battery. Rick pleaded guilty, admitted he regretted his actions, and was sentenced to probation and community service. While the charges were minor compared to scandals involving others, it was still a blow to his reputation. The incident showed that Rick was far from perfect, and perhaps not as unshakable as fans once believed. Rick wasn't the only Pawn Stars cast member to face controversy. Back in 2016, Austin Chumley Russell, the lovable comic relief of the show, was arrested after police raided his Las Vegas home. While the investigation started as a sexual assault allegation, police did not find evidence to support it. However, they did uncover a shocking stash of illegal drugs and multiple firearms. Chumley was hit with 20 felony charges, stunning fans who had always seen him as the goofy, harmless sidekick. He eventually took a plea deal, avoiding jail time but receiving probation, counseling, and restrictions on owning weapons. Though he returned to the show, the scandal changed how many viewers saw him and raised questions about what was really happening behind the cameras of Pawn Stars. As if Rick's challenges were not enough, his son Corey also found himself in trouble in 2023. He was arrested for driving under the influence after police noticed his truck swerving late at night. Though Corey denied drinking heavily, he failed a field sobriety test and was taken into custody. While the case didn't go to trial, it added fuel to speculation about whether addiction problems ran deeper within the Harrison family. Even Rick's mother became part of the drama when she filed a lawsuit in 2022, accusing him of stealing from her and claiming that she was the real owner of the gold and silver pawn shop. According to her, she originally held a majority share in the business before Rick convinced her to sign it over while she was ill. These accusations, whether true or not, painted a picture of a family divided by money, fame, and personal struggles. As of now, Rick Harrison is keeping a lower profile than fans are used to. With Pawn Stars on pause, Corey in Mexico, and Chumley working to stay out of trouble, the future of the show remains uncertain. Rick has talked about creating a new version of the series, which he called Pawn Stars 2.0, and even launched a podcast with Chumley to keep fans engaged. Still, the losses he has faced, especially the death of Adam, have left deep scars. For a man once seen as the rock of his family and business, 2025 has shown that even Rick Harrison has limits. Yet, if history has proven anything, it is that Rick is a survivor. Whether Pawn Stars returns or not, Rick's story is a reminder that behind the fame and success, real people face real struggles. Fans around the world continue to hope that he finds peace, healing, and perhaps a new beginning beyond the pawnshop doors. Fame can be a double-edged sword, and for Rick Harrison, it has brought both incredible success and painful consequences. When Pawn Stars became a global hit, it transformed Rick and his family into household names almost overnight. Tourists flocked to the gold and silver pawn shop in Las Vegas not just to pawn or purchase items, but to catch a glimpse of Rick, Corey, Chumley, or even the late Richard Oldman Harrison. The shop became less of a local business and more of a landmark, with fans lining up outside for photos. At first, this seemed like a blessing, but over time, it created tension. Running a pawn shop is already stressful, and adding the pressure of constant filming and public attention made things even harder. Some fans began to complain that the shop had turned into more of a tourist attraction than a real pawn business. For Rick, who prided himself on knowledge and negotiation, this was frustrating. The fame that lifted him up also brought expectations that were nearly impossible to maintain. Rick's life has also been complicated by family conflicts that spilled into the public eye. The lawsuit from his mother, Joanne, in 2022 was one of the most shocking blows. Fans were stunned when she accused her son of manipulating her into signing over her majority stake in the pawnshop. According to her, she was the true owner of the business since 1989, and Rick had taken advantage of her illness years later to gain full control. For fans who had always seen Rick as a family man, this painted him in a darker light. Although Rick denied the accusations, the lawsuit exposed fractures in the family that had been hidden beneath the show's light-hearted banter. Combined with Corey's decision to leave the show and Adam's tragic death, it became clear that the Harrisons were not the picture-perfect family fans once thought they were. The fame and money from Pawn Stars may have made them rich, but it tore them apart in ways no one expected. The reactions from fans to these events have been mixed. Many longtime viewers continue to stand by Rick, expressing sympathy for his personal losses and admiration for his ability to keep pushing forward. They point out that no one is perfect, and that the scandals surrounding Rick, Corey, and Chumley are simply proof that they are human. Others, however, have been more critical. Some fans say the show lost its charm years ago, becoming too staged and commercialized. They feel that the recent revelations about Corey admitting the show was not fully real only confirmed their suspicions. The arrest of Rick in 2025 shocked many, with some questioning whether the man they admired on-screen was the same man off-screen. Yet, despite the criticisms, there is no denying the impact Pawn Stars had on television history. For more than a decade, it entertained millions, educated viewers about history through unique items, and turned a small Las Vegas pawn shop into one of the most famous businesses in the world. Looking ahead, Rick Harrison stands at a crossroads. The show that made him a global star may be paused, but Rick is not a man who easily gives up. His idea of creating Pawn Stars 2.0 shows that he is still thinking about the future and how to keep his legacy alive. The podcast he launched with Chumley is a sign that he understands how the world has changed. Audiences are moving to digital platforms, and Rick is trying to follow them there. At the same time, his family life remains fragile. With Adam gone, Corey starting a new chapter in Mexico, and legal battles with his mother still fresh in fans' minds, Rick is learning that even strong men must sometimes step back and focus on healing. No matter what happens next, Rick's story is not just about fame and fortune. It is about resilience, loss, mistakes, and the human side of a man millions thought they knew. And perhaps that is why fans will continue to follow his journey, because Rick Harrison's life reminds us that behind every TV star is a real person facing battles we cannot always see.